All right, this is super exciting for the Hyperlite Cable Collective line. We have an all new shape called the Bloodline. This is the Peacock Brothers. That's their shape, Ryan and Liam Peacock. They just kind of brainchild this one and took a bunch of feedback from some of the other boards that they've been riding in the line. And yeah, it kind of came into this Bloodline. The Peacock Brothers been really riding our whole line. They've been riding all of our boards, and so they've really had a good sense of what they wanted to make into the Bloodline. And then talking to our developers, they both kind of brainchild what this Bloodline became. What we found is they wanted a board that would land really well off kickers. And one of the main things that made that happen is giving a little bit more rigidity and stiffness underneath boot. So we have these grab rails. It makes it, gives it almost that 2x4 effect where it gives a rigid line here. It gives more strength in between the feet. And then you can kind of see it fall off right here, right? That creates a hinge point, allowing the tip and tail to really bend into those nose press and tail presses. If we flip the board over, this is where the board really separates itself on the landings of any of our other boards in our line. If we take a look at the board right here, you can see these shallow edge channels, and they run all the way, almost the whole length of the board. They run deep. And what that allows is when you come off of those kickers, you're gonna, like I said on the top, you're gonna have underneath the foot a really rigid board. But then when you do come into this zone, these channels go a little bit further than any of our other boards, and those are gonna lock in almost like fins, you know, like they're gonna feel like you have something to kind of land against, and you're not gonna slip out as easy. And that's something that they even talked to me about on how cool this board is for kicker hits specifically. So looking at the running surface of the board right here, it's not completely flat. We do have our pipe channels here. They wanted something that would lock in really good into all the pipe rails at all the parks, and didn't want to be kind of like searching to figure out where that zone is. Once the board sets in, it's going to hold all the way through, get you out and teed up. So that was important to them. Another thing that they wanted to do is they hold a lot of camps, and they reach a lot of younger riders, and they wanted a board that would be just forgiving for everybody. So they do have the 360-degree beveled edge. You can kind of see it running this whole entire board. That just makes it to where, like, no matter where you are on the board, you're not gonna be catching those crazy edges. The water will be finding itself underneath of the board rather than grabbing the rails. If we're getting into the strength of the board, we have the urethane 360-degree sidewall. That allows you to just, if you hit a rail or you do something to actually ding the board, it's just not gonna break down, and it's just gonna last. If we turn it back over, we have the centered base. The centered base is the strongest material that we can find in our space. So this board comes in 3 different sizes, the 147, the 151, and the 155. We're definitely in that size up mentality on this board as well. So yeah, we are excited to see what the Peacock Brothers do with this thing, and we can't wait to see what you guys do too.